Okay, this is what Tim gave me. This is his sculpture. I think he also made some lights. We keep them off for now, I think. Let's leave it like that. And I wanna rework that a bit. I do want some different materials assigned on different cubes. So I'm gonna do a CD attribute on them. Let's jump in. I think this is the so-called out main shape. So let's hop into the points and give them a nice CD attribute. Attribute VOP. And jump inside here and create a attribute noise. Noise, anti-aliased noise, sorry. And pipe that in the CD. Let's get a fit range node to see it better. Yeah, let's go with 7. Think that's fine. And we're gonna fit that even more. Maybe something like that could work. Okay, let's see. So some of them are now white and the others are black. Let's go further down the tree and see if it sticks. Or we lose the edge, the CD down there. Scatter some points. But I do want to scatter them on the CD. And we want a few more. That's maybe too much. Probably something like that. And we create a color. Let's say black here. Pipe that in. And maybe transfer these attributes. Yeah, already looking better, I think. And we're gonna blend that. That was too strong. Yeah. So interesting pattern going on there. Let's actually do Lookdev for the first piece. I think he also created a material for that. Let's, go and look into, where's the material? There's material concrete. It's called There's material concrete. Okay. Gotcha. So he thought about a concrete material here. Connections. Oh, these are the connecting things. Okay. Let's work on the concrete for now. Okay, and let's start from scratch. I delete all these. And maybe also get another material here. And pipe that in. So let's open the render view. That's because we also need some lights. Let's put that over and call it, I don't know, he has done something here. Let's call that lights max. And we start off with a dome light. Simple but efficient. And I do use a texture for that. And as always, I start with the Maxime rods. one. It's pretty nice. Also, I go with the Canada Montreal Pier bathroom, the classic one and only. So let's rotate that. Oh, sorry. Yeah, by default that looks quite interesting, lol. Like it. That's also cool. But I stick with the first impression, this one. Let's go into materials and concrete. And I think I start off by... Oh, am I in the right one? Errors match concrete. Oh, it's because I didn't select this one. That's why we probably should work with output nodes here. But yeah, my fault. Now it works. I think we can even toggle on the merge node. Or let's stick for now with this. And I also wanna turn off in viewports, and I don't want the background. Oh, let's keep that on since we're working with another background. Doesn't matter. Let's go with something low and create a RS light. Should be an area light. We place that on the left side. I think, let me just, let's duplicate that because I like the first look from the side, but I try another lighting. So let's actually get something very flat from front, maybe something like that, and turn that off by decreasing it here, something like 0.1 or 0.05. Turn that on. Push that over, and I probably do I have the option? Let me just check. Okay. Yeah, let's work with the look at option, and we select this one. Cool. And then I maybe also want to go with the disk. And I would put it a bit higher. And also decrease the spread. And we make it bigger. So just that you see what's happening. I think it's way too bright. Even though with 10 it's way too overcast. So I think on 1 it's fine. We have nice shadows going on. Can even make that harsher. So probably, let's see. Yeah, something like that works. And we don't want that to be red. I usually work in this material context, but Tim has thrown down this material network. You can do both, doesn't matter, but I'm just more used to changing it here. So let's dial here back, maybe get something dark going on. Yeah. Looking at it now, I think I might wanna jack these edges even further off. So let's actually work on that first. So I throw down a measure node after the edge damage and before the color node. And right now we get some red spots and some darks going on. What we want to do now is we need an attribute promote, and we promote that area attribute from primitives to point. Then we say attribute wrangle, and we say basically to see what's going on, cd equals at area, I think. And we do have an area attribute, but I think we need to massage that a bit, because as you can see, it's very small. You know, it's just very small numbers. So what we're going to do is we multiply that until we see something. Let's try it with 1000. And you can already see some stuff happening. We can even put on one more null. And right now you see something is happening, but it's not exactly what I want. So we need an attribute VOB, and we massage that even further. So let's get a ramp parameter, use the CD and pipe that in the CD here. And now I do have what I want, but I want it the other way around, like that. Cool. That looks good to me. And right now, and after that, I can use a scatter node, and I can basically say, if I look now into the scatter, why do I still see the geo? That's a weird bug. Oh no, it's disappeared. I can basically change the density attribute by CD, and I basically should just get on the white spot scattered, and I turn off the relax iteration so it looks more organic, and I crank that up quite a bit. So in the next step, I want to download a rock asset from Quixel, or basically a rock pack. I use this very often because I like it, and I think the rocks look pretty organic. So let's download these, and let's basically say under export settings, we only want DLOD 0. I think that's enough, and we're gonna export the whole stuff to Houdini and start the Megaskins plugin here. So let's get that in. Export settings and export it. Exporting to Houdini. There you go. Whoops, that's the wrong one. I just pushed L, so it's organizing itself. And I just need the geo down there. So let's go back into where did it put it? Oh, it's there. Oh my god, this layout is driving me crazy. I don't need that, but I want it over here. So copy and paste it. And right now, maybe it's, let's try it with a little bit less particles for now. I need a from attribute from pieces. There's the point cloud. Then we also want to merge all these. So, and I need a connectivity node. So it's called class here. We want to name it also class there. I think, and copy to points. Let's see. Points. Right now, yeah, multiple geos in it, but when I change it here to class, there should be different geo. Yeah. I think it's working. So all the pieces are scattered differently on them. And let's move that tree a bit down. By the way, thanks Tim, he left me quite a lot of space here. That is pretty nice, I think. And so I also want to do that later. What I also want to do is now a mobs randomize. Whoops, not a mobs aim, but a mobs randomize. And I do want to randomize the orientation and also the scale, maybe. And then we use some Boolean operations. So pick the geometry A. Oh wow. I think that's quite a heavy geometry. I think my Houdini is about to freeze. Oh no, there it is. Wow, but it's super slow. Then geometry B. Okay, there's something happening, but I think the geo is quite big. Yeah, we have some cutouts now going on here, which is kinda nice, I think. I mean, it's different than the other cutouts, but I like it. Maybe we can make them smaller in general, like over there, and not randomizing the scale so much. So maybe 0. Oh wow, that's not what I wanted to do. Come on, Houdini, I wanna. So let's go into here and massage that a bit. Maybe use these values here and 0.5 here. So we just have some slight differences. Okay, let's check the cutouts again. Hopefully they look better. I just want small cutouts, you know, and I don't want them all over the geo. That looks great, but I want more of them, of course. So what I'm gonna do now is basically I select quite a lot and I want to use an attribute VOP. again get a noise, anti-aliased noise, and we again use some noises to delete some of the points, so it's even more organic. Maybe, yeah, maybe something like that could work. Yeah. So delete, and delete them based on the CD. So let's say CD bigger than 0.1 should be deleted, and delete the attribute. We don't need any CD further on. So let's see what it looks like. Okay, it took quite a while, a few minutes to calculate, and I think this is pretty nice, so we can get some cool close-ups out of it, but I don't like, or I don't know if I like it in the like in the overall geo. So let's basically save that anyways. So get a file cache node. Let's name that sculpture main and save just a single frame. And after that, we're going to use the retime node. So retime, and let's say 240. And we also changed it here by frame, and let's say 240 here. Then we pipe that back into the color and back to our attribute transfer. And let's see what we got. I'm highlighting this now, and let's render it. Render the frame again to compare. I mean, these cutouts are pretty soft. We could achieve that by using volume operations, like getting a VDB out of this full sculpture and subtracting another VDB out of it. But yeah, I think I also like it that way. Okay, let's try to build that shader procedurally, but first I wanna check out round corners. So we need a bump blender as well. I don't wanna remesh this. So I think, let's see if this changes something. Oh, it changes it quite drastically. And I think that's because the radius is way too high. But even though with the smaller radius, it's nice. We get some more specular going on. And I think we can increase the samples. Maybe to something like that. So these cutouts doesn't look that harsh anymore. And we have more specular going on these areas. So let's stack some Maxon noises. Let's actually see. I think I want to go with some wavy turbulence at first. Do like that a lot. And maybe get a color composite node and multiply that with some other Maxon noises. So let's see. I do want this to be bigger, so let's say something like that could work. Let's multiply that. Let's see what's going on. I think let's go with the turbulence here. Yeah, that looks nice. Low clip 0.3. Something like that could work. Pipe that into the bump map. Bump input and see. Let's see what the shader looks like. You cannot see it because we need to toggle it on in the bump blender, but now we should see a result. Oh wow, this is crazy. I think way too much. I think something like that is getting interesting. Yeah. That's pretty cool. And I do think the reflection could be a bit higher. Let's actually pipe that also in the reflection. Let's get a color layer node, maybe. Let's say base layer. And I think by default it's layer 1 is activated. And that's why we don't see anything. So let's disable that for now, so we just have the base layer. Then we can also use a ramp and pipe that into the reflection roughness. Let's see. That's starting to look interesting to me. We can play with more noises, but I definitely want to do something different now. We also need a max on noise, but I want to go with the fire one. And that is by default way too noisy all over it, so I'm gonna change that quite drastically. So I just want some few white spots going on just like that. And I'm gonna use these, maybe not so. For another material. So let's get a material blender node. Also inside here. Pipe that into the surface. And we want that as a blend color. But we also want that as a displacement map. So let's actually get a screenshot of it. Pipe that into the displacement. Right now nothing will happen because we need to enable the displacement here. So let's, oh shit, I didn't want to enable the tessellation because it's already quite highly, the mesh is also quite high res already, a lot of polygons. We don't need these. Okay, it's getting super slow. I just changed the maximum subdivisions to 1, so maybe in some spots it can be subdivided by 1. But this is slowing things down so hard. So this is what it looks like after I turned on the displacement, and obviously it's way too strong. Oh god damn, I'm gonna make that mistake more often with the material here. But never mind, let's go here and decrease the scale quite a lot. Okay, and I do like that some spots are shooting out, as you can see there. That looks quite interesting to me. And I do want to give them now a different material. I don't, oh, come on. I'm sorry. So this is our mask for the material blender. And I want to go with something very high glossy like layer color. Maybe get something aluminum or maybe platinum. Could look cool just to get more specular. What also looks good is if you basically go into plastic and change the IOR to 10 or so, maybe 0. Get some more specular hits. That's quite cool. I think I go with 10. Now I wanna also use I think maybe we can give it more bump. Let's actually do the same like here, but we shift this one. So let's give this a offset. And I want a higher frequent bump. So let's say I don't want the wavy turbulence, but maybe I go with also, oh, stupid is quite nice. And I want, or actually, I don't know, let's go with turbulence. And I wanted quite low res, I mean high frequent, low pattern size. Not low res, of course, but let's say something like that looks good, in my opinion. Maybe a bit bigger. Let's see. Oh no, I think that was good. Let's get a bump map for that. I think we also want to go with 0.1 on this. Let's start off by 0.1. Put that into the bump blender as well. And let's see what we got. Right now we don't see anything at all, because we need to activate it again. And you can see we not only have this bigger spots, but also these going on. I'm just not sure about let's actually add this about the roughness I wanted to say. So let's enable that, and we want to make add to it. Or maybe we can go with screen. Let's see. Yeah, I think that's cool. It's still a lot glossy, but maybe let's tweak that. Yeah. And I also want to push that a bit back to 0.7. Yeah, something like that. Looks pretty high res to me. Let's get a ramp on this one, and I tweak it on the ramp to get a bit of a special pattern that you cannot achieve with a, I think, oops, oh come on, with a regular maximum noise. That's looking interesting to me. Yeah, something like that. I'll clip that a bit. Oops. Yeah, that looks interesting. Cool. Pipe that in the multiplicator and let's see. Yeah, and you start to get these tendrils going all over. I like the pattern more. Oh, we didn't get a screen cap, but I think you saw it. It was just a basic fall off, which is not so interesting. I really like these tendrils. And right now there are some very flat faces, and I also wanna work on these. Let's get a basic maximum noise pattern. I think this is a quite good start. This is quite interesting. And we want to give it an overall bump, but just ever so slightly, barely recognizable. Right now it must be way too strong. It's not activated, but if I put 0.5 in, you see it's shooting all over the other bumps. So let's dial that back even further. I mean, now it's completely gone, I think. Maybe there's a tiny bit, but I think it's barely visible. I think something like that could work. So at least you have something going on. Yeah, I think I like it. That looks good to me. So that is the first piece, or the first part of the look development of the sculpture from Tim.